Hello.
There he is.
What's going on?
How you doing, Jacob?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good.
Jacob, I just want to say, your show, my computer's broke. So, your show is one of the outlets I have to the world because, I've been going through some things.
Well, Jake, what do you need to tell the people?
I just want to say Herman is the biggest piece of shit in the business.
Herman's asleep. He's been asleep for hours.
Jake,
Herman,
should I be writing this down?
Herman, you have a link. You can come on if you want to. Also, put my Cash App up here if y'all want to send me some donations for my computers.
Disregard
Jake,
my message, Gonzo.
Did you get to see Herman's video he made of you guys wrestling?
I did not see it because my computer is broken, but if it involved pillow wrestling, there's no way he will beat me.
Oh no, he said I think he submitted you.
That is not possible.
Remember when people would ask Jake if he's going to wrestle Mike Lindell?
Here's the thing. Herman may be like Bigfoot's long lost cousin, but I learned how to dance and tango in Mississippi. Bigfoot's just nothing but a giant piece of shit. Nothing.
Jake, what did they use when they kidnapped you? What type of weapon did they have?
They pulled a knife. I was held hostage. They held the laptop hostage. I was forced into a vehicle, a Pontiac G6.
And doesn't the G6 have a name, Jake?
No, we need to name that car. Hello?
That car? Is that what you said? We need to name it?
Yes.
That's what Jake said.
We need to name that car. Heather, we need to name that car. I was taken. That's what he said. I was taken. Giggle Pickles, if you have her on here, I will not be here because she faked cancer.
No, it's funny. The last time his computer was down, he called in, and it was me and Herman, and not Jake. Herman was just making shit up, and he was like, "Oh, Crystal's in the chat. She said hi." "Oh, hey, Crystal, how you doing, honey?" I'm like, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Clip it."
How you doing, honey?
A week ago. Yeah, it's like a week ago. It's so good.
You got my Cash App if you want to tip me.
Yeah, his conversations with Vince were pretty funny.
Oh yeah. You got a link if you want to come on, Jacob.
He fell in love in like 2 minutes.
Don't have to wear your camera.
Here's the thing, Giggle Pickles, you're done.
So she's supposed to start the trek tomorrow, Smith.
Oh, she's gonna walk 600 miles and she will walk 600 more.
We did the math. Starting from DC, which I don't think she's near DC, would be 49 miles a day. So she's somewhere between 49 and 60 miles a day.
She'd be lucky to walk 60 miles a day or 50, 49 miles a day.
She'd be lucky to get 23 miles a day. Like, honestly.
Bro.
If she's half as much stuff as she's talking about.
Oh, a full backpack should be lucky to walk 8 miles a day to start. 10, maybe.
And dude, I don't know what it's like back there right now, but we're going through a severe heat wave. And if it's anything like that back east,
well, yeah, it's supposed to be 80. It's supposed to be 88 tomorrow, so I know Virginia is pretty similar.
Dude, it's going to be 99 to 100 inland here.
Yeah, that's what it was last week here. We got that weather last week because we're under the La Nina effect or whatever this year. So that means you're probably going to get more rain and heat, and we're going to get more rain and heat.
Well, the
in the fall, I guess.
September is San Diego's hottest month.
Well, yeah, because you then in what October, November, you get the Santa Ana or Santa Anita, whatever winds, right?
And yeah, but those things are brutal.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, there's some nights.
Every kid's bike.
There's some nights that when the Santa Ana winds are blowing, dude, it just howls and you can't sleep, man. It's just miserable.
Oh, see, I would like that though. The sound of the ocean, the sound of storms, wind.
Well, I don't live next to the ocean. Ooh. I mean, I live ways in.
All that shit, man. That the howling wind. Ooh. It does it here sometimes too. Obviously, get a cold. I mean, more so. Usually, the howling winds are like in the fall, winter, like when it's getting cold and they're calling for snow and shit. And you get that blowing wind, or like where Jacob especially lives. You get blowing wind and snow, and you can hear it inside the house. That's pretty, dude. You get a fireplace, I'll sleep like a fucking champ by that shit.
Well, I got like a window frame that I usually leave in most of the times of the year and just flip it back and forth depending on weather. And then the wind will pick up and it'll just start blowing the fan in the other direction.
Yeah.
Start spinning the opposite.
Yeah, well, that's like when I lived up in northern Indiana. That's why I know. I'm like, I lived up there. It was like Chicago, well, Chicago adjacent. But that's how it was, dude. The wind would start blowing. You just hear that. You hear the whoo, and it'd be fucking blowing snow and shit out.
Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst plowing with fucking dry snow and like.
Yeah, because it's pointless. That you should just wait until it's done to plow, basically.
Exactly. Put some salt down so it melts a little bit so you can push it.
Right. Because it's like taking the shovel and you you clear the driveway and you walk back out there like 15 minutes later and it doesn't look. Oh well, fuck.
Yeah, that's the majority of the problems out here are drifts because of the way that the roads
There's no hills.
Yeah, exactly. If the fucking the banks are higher than the roads, it just drifts over and you can't even see anything. That's the majority of the people that get in accidents when it's fucking snowing.
Drifts or crash into a drift itself and get stuck. Yeah.
When I lived out where my daughter lives, it's further east, man, you'd hear the wind and the coyotes howling.
Oh yeah. See, I like that. I could live in the desert, bro. No doubt.
Canadian said Jake's aggravation Friday night stream he did back in May.
Oh yeah, he said he Canadian messaged me out of nowhere and he was like, "Yo, look at the name of this stream," and I was like, "What is it?" And he just fucking loved it. It makes him laugh every time. He always brings it up.
And I know I'm gonna be the man who walked all over you. And Giggle Pickles would walk 7,000 miles.
They're gonna get like maybe halfway and just want to give up.
I don't think they're just gonna crash at some fucking truck stop and just not leave one day.
And then she's talking about all the stuff we're gonna do in Niagara Falls. I'm like, if you only have 7, like Peter Rabbit only has 14 days, I guess, whatever, 2 weeks vacation. So it's like you're not gonna be able to spend a bunch of time up there if you got to head back.
Yeah, there's no way they're gonna do that in 2 weeks.
No way. Unless they're driving or flying.
Right. You heard.
That's why I said maybe there's somebody casing them in a car.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
As long as there's no dead bodies in the trunk.
Yeah, it's true. GP has a habit of that.
I've been told she checks the trunk now.
Well, that's good. That's good.
You heard why she won't fly, right?
She's good. Fuck, Niagara Falls, you either take the boat trip and get soaked on the ferry, or they have a speedboat you can take and you still get soaked, but you drive fast and you can do that. They have a fucking the Canada side is way better. They have a brewery.
Oh,
Jacob would like this. They have a brewery with a deck bar that literally just hangs out over, and you look at it's not that close, but it looks like you could just reach out and touch it if you see a picture.
Schmidt, did you hear why she doesn't fly anymore?
What?
She said that when one time they landed and it was wintertime.
Oh, it spun out.
She said the airplane hit black ice and they started doing donuts.
Okay, well, number one, that would be documented. You could Google that and find that.
Well, yeah, just can you imagine?
All right, I got one for it. Okay.
Can you imagine a jet doing donuts?
Yeah,
Because
sure.
I thought about this. I thought about this as soon as she said it. One of the airports in Chicago has one of the shortest landing
Midway.
strips,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
and they have
Midway.
Midway.
to like, and they have
Yeah.
to like slam on the brakes in
Yeah.
order to
Yeah. When
not pull
when I
onto
landed there on Southwest, bro, that motherfucker they hit the air brake. You feel that motherfucker shake.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
that's the
oh yeah,
thrust reversers. Yeah.
because that's where you end up is on Cicero Avenue. That fucking runs right by. It
Yeah.
just runs right into Cicero. It's so
Yeah.
wild.
Well, it's a lot better than having to go to O'Hare though. If you're flying from here, you know.
Yeah, it depends. The crowds are different. If you're gonna take off, I mean, I'll land in I'll actually land in Rockford rather than Chicago. They're about the same distance away from me, except you get a lot less traffic in Rockford.
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah.
depends on where you're going or coming from too, I suppose.
No, you can go anywhere in the U.S. from Rockford. It's a big airport. It's a big enough airport where they have commercial flights and stuff. Yeah.
So you can get the same traffic you have at Midway,
Same traffic? No.
like
It's way
same planes. I mean, you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, same planes. Yeah.
So like the same
Yeah, they got
Southwest jet
Spirit,
that landed at.
Spirit, Southwest. Yeah, they got all of them.
Okay, so it's just like when people are like flights from Louisville to Miami are $59. Well, you're not really landing in Miami. You're landing in Hollywood or Fort Lauderdale or whatever.
Yeah.
That's how they get. That's how they get you those cheap flights.
There's
Is
no carryovers.
right. They put your ass at Midway or Rockford or fucking Oh, you're going to be in Cincinnati. Oh
But
yeah, they
dude,
put
if
you
you
30
land
miles out.
if you land in Midway, there's a Illuminati's right there around the corner. Uh,
A what?
Nice.
Illuminati's? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Shit's fire.
But yeah, I've been to O'Hare, Midway, both. But
Gonzo
Midway,
says
I thought
Gonzo says
Midway was
many
easy to
years ago-
navigate.
Many years ago, on a snowy night, an airplane went through the fence.
Yeah.
No, there's stories of.
Well, hey,
That's
remember
why,
Jacob?
That's why when you
Jacob.
said it would be in the news, I was like, yeah, oh yeah, that would definitely happen. Whenever I'm
Hey,
kayaking, I go by that airport. Well, not
hey,
the Midway.
Jacob, remember also that Midway Airport is the home of a famous UFO incident.
Yep.
Where the UFO was reported by 1,000 feet above the fucking hangar and shit.
So the reason I don't like it is because it was described as an orb. I don't really like depictions of orb UFOs because I think it's really easy to write off.
Oh, just
Right, and
unidentified. You don't
Project.
know what
It could be Project Bluebeam, just putting a fucking hologram.
But Gonzo, that's what makes the
Oh,
pizza
Blue
so
Beam.
good.
Oh yeah.
The rats make the pizza good.
Yeah.
So Schmidt,
What do you think the sausage
Schmidt,
is?
I didn't get to finish for Jacob. Interrupted, boss man. So
You got to be quick to
Giggle
finish.
Pickles. Another reason she won't fly is because she goes, "I'm terrified of heights." And then, like 10 minutes later, she said she's going to do the zip line.
She's gonna zip line 10 minutes later, and then another time she was talking about riding roller coasters at Busch Gardens in Virginia. I'm like, well, if you're afraid of heights, dude, I know people that are afraid of heights. They ain't getting on no fucking roller coaster. They ain't getting on a plane. They ain't climbing up a mountain. My aunt, she wouldn't even fucking ride an escalator or an elevator.
Yeah, so I called her out.
It was so funny. The guys
like,
at TOD were saying it at the same time. They were telling us what the height was. I wasn't really looking that up. I don't know if you guys saw the video that they did, but yeah, I wasn't really looking that up. They were messaging me in Discord, giving me like the height and all that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that is really high. Like
the zip lining thing. Yeah, she's in the mountains, bro.
Yeah, Bachman's like, you gotta try something smaller first.
Yeah.
I said, why don't you try like a step ladder? Start there.
It's like, do you not know, like if you go zip lining in Eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, New York, Pennsylvania, all the way down through Tennessee, the Appalachian Mountains and all, or if you go out west, it's even bigger. But motherfucker, you're hundreds of feet in the air when you do those things. Like they have one down at the Red River Gorge here. That motherfucker's like 400 or 500 feet up in the air at points,
Well, how about
and all you have is that harness on a fucking line with a carabiner and a hook,
the people that jump off the New River Gorge Bridge?
Fuck yeah, I'd do that.
And they did. Remember, they did like a Ford truck or something. I
forget
what it was.
Dude, I would do that. That fucking place is awesome. I've been whitewater rafting there. It's a gully. You got to go. It's coming up the fall time when they start letting the water, or is it springtime? I'm sorry, springtime. They start letting the water out from all the rain, dude. That's a fuck. That's when you that's like if people like that's the one time you can believe. Not necessarily, I don't want to say God, but I guess that's what it would be. But you believe that somebody like you are small, you have no power, and this motherfucker is just going. You're in a fucking little inner tube raft on this giant. All you see is mountains and trees and birds, and it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, and just the water and just giant rocks. You're like, if we shift 1 inch to the right and I just fucking fall out, I'm going to be like, well, I mean, you'll probably be okay as long as the guide or whoever grabs you, but you could fucking hit a rock and you're done, bro. It's just like, holy shit.
Aren't you just kind of sitting on the side of that thing?
Yeah, you're sitting with your ass on the side of it. Now, not everybody. The people who are more scared, they ask people who has done this before. Who has kayaked, who has canoed, who knows how to row properly, who knows CPR, first aid, etc. Anybody have any military or scouting or explorers or whatever, National Guard, whatever. Anybody have or fire, police? Okay, you're going to be on the outside. So of course they always pick me because I was in scouts and camping and all that. It's like fuck yeah, of course I want to be on the outside rowing. But you're sitting with a life jacket, a helmet, and you're sitting with your ass just hanging with your feet. Now they have like ropes to grab onto and little handles and shit. Yeah. But basically you're just on a glorified inner tube getting thrown around by the fucking class 4 and 5 rapids.
Yeah. Yeah, and someone was telling me that like if you're
awesome,
not rowing, you might get like the more you row, the less chance of falling off.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. You want like the guide's gonna be like, all right, the guy's on the left, paddle hard, because like he's done this shit. He does this shit every day. He knows all the areas. But certain areas, if you land in the area, it'll suck you down, bro. It don't matter if you have a life jacket. And there's certain areas like around a rock, there'll be like a pool where it's calm. They'll be like, all right, paddle hard to the right, da-da-da. And you'll go over to the right, and there's just roaring rapids, and you're just sitting on a calm little spot, just sitting there eating lunch, watching fucking motherfuckers go by and shit.
Yeah.
Now the real badasses are the dudes who get in kayaks by themselves and they flip over upside down, and you could panic and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? No, like you got to be a bad motherfucker.
Kayaks. Okay, the people on the kayak. So I would like study these guys. They're fucking wild, and they have balls. Different like ways. Yeah, they have a couple different ways. First, their kayaks are different. You can seal them on the top, and they have that like suit that you can seal with.
Yeah,
and then they also have carabiners that are attached to a string, and then or a rope, and then you can like attach it out of the water if you get wedged in like rocks and stuff. And then they're supposed to be calm and like pull the carabiner out and fucking hook it onto something so that they can pull themselves out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's sketchy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got hundreds of pounds.
Usually that's what they say. You do it in a group of people so your buddy can come just grab your shit if possible,
Yeah.
Now, hold on a second here, Gonzo. Bossman and Schmidt are going to have a problem with the comment you put in there. He wrote, Jake interrupted the guy to tell some dumb story about wrestling. There are no dumb stories about wrestling. It's the only real sport, Gonzo.
That's right. People are fake. Wrestling is real.
I mean, if you're talking about a dumb story about wrestling, I mean, you could be talking about that fake Greco-Roman stuff. But come on, pro wrestling. There's
that piece of the shit. Hulk Hogan.
I used to love when the Iron Sheik would say, "Me, Gina mean you."
Gina mean. Let me tell you that jabroni Hulk Hogan. The Hulk.
He would say, "Gene mean you Jew American."
You Jew American. Yeah.
Jew American. Yeah, they say
Iron Sheik was a bad motherfucker though.
That dude was crazy on the road, man.
Dude, that motherfucker snorted coke and fucking banged hookers and fucking just like drank and smoked pot. He's like Kevin Nash tells the story. He's like, we're up in New York and when they're working, for WWF when he was with Shawn Michaels as bodyguard, they're all getting fucked up. And Iron Sheik just comes back to be the manager for somebody or